So in this tutorial, I want to show you the mistakes most tailors do while taking measurements. Now, I know I have shown us how to take an appropriate measurement on our male outfit, but in this tutorial, I want to show you some unknown mistakes that most tailors do while taking measurements. So if this video sounds like what you want to learn, so stick around, watch to the very end. I will show you the mistakes and I'll also show you how to correct them, and I will also teach you the best thing to do. So before we proceed, now the first thing you need to know is that while taking your customer's measurement, you need to ask him what he wants, like the fitting he wants. So the first mistake is by not communicating with your customer. Now, when you don't communicate, you won't know what he wants, you won't know his heart desires, you won't know his wish or his likes or his what he likes, right? So you need to communicate. You ask him what he wants. So when he states clearly what he wants, you can now go ahead and take measurements in accordance to his preferences and choice. So you must communicate with your customer so that you will know how to measure. Then the number two, the mistake people do is by taking measurements without knowing the style they are making. You cannot measure senator when the customer is asking for a shirt, or you can measure a shirt when the customer is asking for a senator. Neither can you measure a senator when the customer is asking for abada or danshiki or any other flamboyant style. Bear in mind, all of these measurements are related, but they are not of the same fit, especially when you're making danshiki and senator. The danshiki measurement is a bit bigger than the regular fitted measurement, right? Except you're a professional, whereby you can now take the fitted measurements and then expand it or add some values to suit any different type of outfit you are making. For example, I can decide to measure your regular fitted measurements, and from there I can work out your value for your chest for your shirt. I'll work out the value for your chest for senator. I'll work out the value for your chest for any other type of outfit I will be making for you. So you need to know what you are making before you take the measurement that will fall in line with the particular outfit, right? And also, another mistake most people do is they don't negotiate price. Now, before you take measurements of your client, you must have negotiated the price of sewing or any services you're going to render in the course of the work. Because when the measurements are taken, it is assumed that you're already eager to work for him or her. And by so doing, the client will not be playing pranks on you or playing with your intelligence. But if measurements has not been taken, you can freely ask him to check somewhere else, and he or she will step out with the fabric. But once you have taken the measurement of your client, it is a sign that you are kind of desperate to work for him. It's just like when you walk into a bank, you have not filled the form and you want to submit whatever money you came to deposit. You must fill the form, right, before you submit money you came to deposit. So the measurements you are going to take is like a seal of the agreement you guys have, and it should come before and after you have price negotiations and agreed on the style and everything. Then you now go ahead to take measurement. And another mistake as well most people also do is they don't ask for dates of collection. Someone can walk into your shop, possibly he needs an outfit today and maybe next tomorrow, and he dropped the clothes and you have already collected the money and taken measurements, and you do not ask him what or when is the date of collection. And when he calls you in the next 2 days to inform you of the collection date, you will not be taken unaware. So all of these things boils down to mistakes most tailors do alongside while taking measurements. So I had to just bring in these ones, to give you more insight on how to go about it. So I will now go back to the main topic of the video, which is mistakes people do while taking measurements. So here with me, I have my friend and my brother by the name Danny Couture. So he came to visit me, and I'm using him as my model in this illustration. Daniel, you can come and say hi to my fans. So guys, he will be opening his channel on YouTube as well. So you guys should do well to also follow him. I will tag his handle in my next video I will do. So now, when a customer comes to take his measurements, the first thing you need to notice or observe is the kind of clothes he is wearing. Now, if you observe that the clothes is well tailored, you have to take your measurements in line with the one he's putting on, because a customer can come and he's putting on a well-sewn outfit. You don't need to change his taste, except he asks you that this one is too tight or too big, adjust it. So that's the essence of communication. You can't just rush and put a tape and start measuring without knowing if he wants to have it fitted or loose or however. So you must ask him what he wants. Then once he responds, and then you measure accordingly, right? So you must be observant enough to know this. Now, the next mistake people also do is, while taking the chest measurement, they allow the tape to fall down this way, turn this way. They allow the tape to be below this way, and they are taking the chest measurement. So this is very wrong. This is very wrong. Now, your chest measurement should go in a circular form. It should pass both on the shoulder blade at the back, this way. The tape should be touching this region while you are taking your full round chest measurement, right? So your tape should not be dropping or slacking downwards while you're taking the chest measurement. So having said this as well, now the next I'm also going to show you is on the shoulder measurement. Now, in some cases as well, some customers might come wearing, that's what they call a dropping shoulder polo or outfit. So if you follow the pattern of what they are putting on already, you might be wrong. Observe if that polo they are putting on or the shirt they're putting on is well tailored. If it is, then take the reading from the shoulder of the original chest or shirt or whatever they are wearing. But if it's not, then you have to, adjust to a new measurement, right? Okay, so now when taking the customer's shoulder measurement, you must make sure you stay behind, just like this. Don't stay in front, Don't stay in front to take measurement. It's very wrong. You must stay behind and turn your customer in a position where you will have that freedom. Then you measure this way. Your tape should be resting on the neck region and not dropping like this. It's very wrong taking your shoulder measurement from this direction. Please note this. So now your tape should measure, and there should be a point, the bone here at the shoulder here. To touch that bone, measure across this way. Now, after taking your shoulder measurement, the next mistake you will do is to jump to the neck, for example, or you jump to the round sleeve, or you jump to the waist of the trouser, and then later you now come back to measure your sleeve length. It is very wrong not to take your sleeve length measurement immediately after you have taken your shoulder value. Why is this so? Because you will likely forget where you stopped on your shoulder, and then when coming back to take the sleeve length, you should have started from that same point that your shoulder ended, and then push your tape in this form, continue from that same point while you take your sleeve length measurement. So if you don't do it this way, you are wrong. So, and the only way you can get it right is by taking the measurement of the shoulder, and then whatever you stopped on shoulder, you read for the sleeve from that same point, and then you go down to this very point, right? So that's for the shoulder and sleeve length taking. So you must take them one after the other, right? So that's for this. Now the next is your neck. Now when taking the neck measurement, some persons do mistake and pass the tape on the throat, just like this. This is not neck, this is throat. You're not meant to kill your client or injure him. You're meant to take your neck measurement at the base where the neck is lapping, just like this, at the down part of the outfit, right? So this is where you take your neck measurement. Another mistake as well people do is by taking this neck measurement to be wide, like this. It's not meant to be wide. He's not wearing a cloth with another neck inside. It's only one neck he has. So then tape should lap on the neck circumference. Only one finger will be inside for ease allowance. And also, the neck should not be too tight as well to inconvenience him. So the neck should also be firm and comfortable on your client. That for the neck measurement. The another mistake people also do while taking measurement is by taking the top length from here. It's wrong, very wrong. You don't take the top length from these slanted points of your body. You take from the neck edge like this, and the tape should lap on the chest, on the stomach, down to the length of your choice, because this is the fullness of the body. So this point is where you must take your top length from, right? That's for the top measurement. Then for the round sleeve, one mistake as well people do is by taking the round sleeve measurement while the hand is straight this way. It's wrong, because you are likely going to make a mistake, because if you take the round sleeve from here, this might sound good on your customer, but after sewing, he will not be able to coil his hand. It will get tight on the body, as you can feel that the round sleeve is now tighter than it should when the hand is being coiled. So how do you do it? Your round sleeve, your hand will be coiled while you take the fullness of the coiling. That's the trick you use to get a perfect round sleeve. Even if you want to make a bogus round sleeve, you should also make the cloth to the hand to be coiled while you take your bogus values. And also for the elbow as well, you measure the elbow as well while it's coiled, so to get the actual elbow measurement. And also the wrist, you measure the wrist, your one finger being inside just like this. You take measurement of the wrist, right? That's for the wrist measurement. So now, if you are watching to this very point, you and I know that you are learning a lot already from this video. So kindly do well to give me a thumbs up, like this video, comment, and subscribe to my channel, because this video is just out here for most of us to learn, right? So the only money you will pay me now is to like this video. Please like this video. Make sure you click on the like button and hit or smash that subscribe button on this channel. This is the only way you will show me love, and I will know that you are getting value from what I am teaching. And also feel free to drop your questions, drop your comments in the comment section of this video. I'll also go through to reply where necessary and when needed, right? So going back to what we are teaching, I was talking about the measurement errors. So now the next we are going to handle here will also be for the trouser. Now, while taking the trouser measurement, one of the errors that people also do or make is by measuring or taking the customer's trouser length from the belt. Like when they are putting on the belt, you are not meant to measure the waist of your customer on top of the belt like this. Now, in most cases, customers come and you want to take the measurement. You're not meant to measure it on top of their belt or their kaftan they're already putting on. You are meant to raise their clothes up, measure above their belt, because the belt tends to increase the waist circumference of your client. And before you do this as well, you make sure you ask your customer, you make an excuse, let me take your waist measurement, then you raise the clothes up, measure on top of their belt, right? So that's for the belt measurement, very important. Now for the hip, another error people do as well is by taking the measurements while your customer's legs are kind of closed. If you happen to take your customer's hip measurement while his legs are closed, you will obviously get a smaller hip circumference. So how do you do it? Your customer needs to take a balanced position like this. The legs will be like 1 foot apart. Now this will give you a fullness of the hip circumference. Now if the legs are closed, you tend to get a smaller value on the hip region, right? So you ask him to spread his legs a bit, and then you now measure the fullness of the hip circumference, and also make sure that there is no wallet or any item in the pocket, so that you will not have a wrong value. And also make sure that the clothes does not add this way. You raise the clothes up a bit, and then you measure the hip value in this form. That for the hip measurement, the tape must touch the buttocks and touch the side while you take the hip measurement. Another error people do also have or make is by taking the lap when standing. Watch what will happen. If I stand and take my lap this way, the lap value will give me 29, which happens to be fitted on my client. But when I squat down, which is how you must do it, the lap value will be normal, 26. Imagine having extra 3 inches after sewing. You go shape the trouser until the trouser joy go enter bike leave you comot. So the difference is so much that you cannot jeopardize taking measurements while standing. It will give you an angular or a diagonal measurement value, which will be wrong on the body of the client. After this, you also measure the knee as well. The knee as well is also the same part. You must squat down as well to take the knee measurement. Another error people do or make is by taking the ankle measurement from the roundness of the leg this way. Now, this might seem to be cool, but it's not actually cool, because you are going to have a small value here that when you sew the trouser, it won't be able to cross the heel of the leg. So what then do you need to do? You have to measure from this point. You have to measure from this point, and then make sure that this measurement is touching across this region, just like this, and comes all through this way in this direction. Very, very important, so that the trouser will be able to pull off and pull out as well. Then lastly, we also have the error people do make by not measuring the length of trouser properly. So you must stay beside to take your customer's length of trouser. You don't need to stay in front this way. Stay beside, and then the 2 legs must be closed. Then he doesn't need to look down. You just need to stay beside while you take the full length in this direction. So these are the possible errors people do make. So now you have seen or watched some of the errors people do make in taking measurements. So to crown it all, another very big error as well people do make is also by cramming or mastering all they have measured off head or off hand or off heart. Now they want to take the whole values at once, and they will end up forgetting or mixing up some of these values. Now, nothing stops you from either having your phone on record while in your breast pocket. When you measure chest of 40, you say chest 40. Your phone will help you to record what you are saying. Or nothing stops you as well from bringing a pen and paper and jot down each or the individual measurements, whatever you are taking measurements on, because you don't need to cram them. You will likely skip or mix up or even forget the values you have taken, and these numbers are almost similar or confusing. So don't act like you're a genius. Yes, in as much as we try to build ourselves, don't overdo yourself. So just make a time to jot down these values, and you have less stress and you have possible focus more when you are putting down the values or the measurements in your book while measuring. So like I said, I do have an app which I use in taking my measurements of my customer, which is called Google Keep Notes. This is not an advert for the app, but this is an app that works for me. So if you're using an Android phone, Just go to Google, your Play Store, type Keep Notes, Keep, Keep Notes. I'll try to put the logo on this video. Download it. This app helps you to store your customers' measurements in the app, and it will be backed up on Google Drive. So whenever you lose your phone, or you misplace your phone, or even when you travel out, or when you move out from your home and you need to refer to someone's measurements, all you need to do is to sign in your Gmail in another phone and download the app. All measurements you have in that phone will come to that new phone without you losing any value or any measurement at all. So this, I just said, I need to bring to your notice, and also encourage you all to be up and doing. So I think I have gone very deep in explaining some of the mistakes people do while taking measurements. So if you have watched this very point, kindly help me to drop a heart emoji on this video to show me that you watched till the very end. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye for now.